Hey there, it's Bobby Legs and welcome to another episode of Bobby Legs Loves Watches. And today, you and I will be taking a look at the Heinrich Taucher. So I'm excited to present to you the Heinrich Taucher. My pronunciation of German is very bad. Anyway, Taucher translates to diver in English. So we're gonna just call this a Heinrich Diver from now on, just so you guys know. Now this was a Kickstarter campaign. The funding started at the end of November, of 2020. However, the design and the specs of this watch was circulating in social media late spring, early summer. Of 2020. That's when I first noticed it, and I was immediately attracted. I spoke to the owner, Wolfgang Heinrich. We actually did a live stream together. I'll put a link in the description. And I just love this 70s style, vintage looking diver and case. I was born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s. So there's a lot of nostalgia there for me. And I don't know, I just thought it was really, really good looking. The pictures were great and I wanted to see it in the metal. So I participated, first time and only time so far that I participated in a Kickstarter campaign. So let's jump right into the specs. Got a case diameter of 41. I measured actually a 41.3, but with true German watch website form, the specs are exact to the tenths of millimeters. So we're gonna go with a 47.8 millimeter case, lug to lug, a thickness of a 13.6 with the box sapphire crystal, which has AR coating, 11.5 millimeter case thickness without the crystal, 20 millimeter lug width. This is a brushed case, fully brushed case, although I see in this beveled edge here that it kind of looks like it's polished, and right around here where the lugs meet the bracelet, it looks like it's polished. So I'm not sure if it's because of the angle of the light that is hitting it that it looks like it gives that appearance that it's polished, but it is brushed. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's enough of a distinction to give it some kind of depth to the case, and you have some really interesting angles here on the lugs. The lugs, I really like the lugs a lot. Now, you have the stainless steel brushed shark mesh, maybe bracelet here. Very, very interesting. One of the major reasons why I was super interested in this watch, not only with its cape shape and the dial, but this bracelet really piqued my interest. Now, it originally came with a ratcheting clasp with a diver's extension on it. And then they offered this option here that didn't have that had just a micro adjust. I would say that I probably should have gone with the original ratchet bracelet. There's nothing wrong with this, but I don't know why. I changed my mind. But I think I would have rather, and I think the reason why is that usually here you have you have this double secure clasp here with the fold over, and then you have this push down. You get a nice little click typically on some of these bracelets clasp. You don't have that here. You don't have that nub that's sticking out here that you can just like snap on. There's no like real snap. But I will tell you that the fold over clasp is very, very solid, and it takes a little bit of effort to get that out. So you do have also 6 micro adjusts. Now this is a push pin system here. You have the arrows inside the bracelet that tell you where to go. There is no collar, so it's strictly push pin. So be aware of that. I had to take out a couple of links, and then one of the pins didn't really fit snug enough in there for my liking, and I kind of got a little nervous, but I took another pin from another link and it fit just fine. So now it's really, really secure. You have some hot spots here on the clasp, but I think it's because you have this like engraving here on top of the crown of the logo. Now the logo is a lion, and it is the coat of arms of Baden-Württemberg, where where Heinrich Watches is located, and you'll see that in that spot here, and also on the crown. Now it's painted in, so it feels pretty good. I'm hoping that lasts for a while. I know sometimes these paints fade, but well, it is what it is, right? So there you have that. Now the case back is screw down, and you have an embossed case back here with the logo of Heinrich on it. Really, really cool. Nice feeling texture. Doesn't irritate the wrist at all. It's just a nice little relief, and very, very nicely done. No hot spots there. I do feel some, when I first got the bracelet, I felt some hot spots on the bracelet, but I think what it is you don't feel anything coming down here when you're going with the grain. When you go on the side of the grain here, that's where you feel it. And that's probably because of the links itself. So I was like, oh, technically that's not, I don't call that a hot spot. It's just, I'm just going against the grain of the links itself. And I'll give you my thoughts on that at the end of the video after we're doing some of the specs. 200 meter diver. You have a 7mm crown, no crown guards here. Very aggressive with the knurl. So you unscrew. Now the first position is a winding position. Second position is a ghost position because this is powered by the Sellita SW200-1. So there is a date feature to the movement, but there is no date window here. And then you get the final position, which will, set the time to the watch. Voila, 200 meter water resistance. And like I said, you do have that crown here with the lion, which is nicely done. It's really a nice touch. There's a lot of nice touches to this watch. Like I said, very aggressive knurled and oversized knurl, no crown guards, as I said. Now you have this sapphire insert on the bezel, 120 click bezel. Good action on the bezel. No playback. It lines up. I just missed it, but it does line up very, very nicely, I would have to say. And what's cool about it is that you do have this same knurling here on the bezel, but you have this nice little wave pattern. Just again, a nice little touch that they didn't have to do, but it just makes this watch a little bit more distinctive and different. So I very much like that as well. Now let's get into the dial. This beautiful green sunburst. Now they have different colors. They all look great. And you have this patina hands and hour indices and minute indices. Hour and minute hands. The loom is Superluminova BGW9 on the indices and the hands. And you have this interesting, you have the circles for most of the hours. And then you have this kind of like a teardrop look. I'm sure there's a proper name for it, but I'll go with teardrop. Heinrich written underneath the 12 clock indice with the line in the middle. Taucher and 200 meter, 660 feet at above the 6 o'clock position. Sorry, I had to take off my glasses and take a look there. Really, really nicely done proportion dial. I like it. I know the 12, 3, and 6, and 9 indices may be a deal breaker for some, but I really, really like it. You have sword hands on the hour and the minute hand. The second hand has at the tip an interesting alternate color scheme there. You have a red, white, and red again. And this is a nod to the telecommunications tower in Stuttgart, where Wolfgang is from, a famous tower there. It's almost like a city symbol. So a nice little additional touch to the watch that I appreciated. Very personalized as well. So really, really good looking watch. I'm going to throw this on my wrist. And I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist, and the watch fits really, really well. I got to tell you, I've been wearing this watch a lot lately over the last week and a half, and it's almost become my go-to. I wear it every day. I mean, I do several watch changes every day, But this has been mostly my go-to watch. I just love the way it feels. And it just, I think it, will fit a lot of people for sure. Let's talk about my thoughts, my critiques, my suggestions. Well, I think you could tell that I really like this watch. The styling of it is great. I love the dial. I love the patinaed indices in our hands. It fits great. The bracelet, for most part, is pretty good. And this is where some of my critiques or suggestions would come. There originally in the specs, Heinrich was advertising that it would be a quick adjust, a quick release strap. Now he does add holes to the lugs here, and they took away the quick release. I would say, getting this bracelet off was easy. Putting it back was very difficult for me. Now, you may not find it very difficult, or you may have a system do it, but I found it very, very difficult. So I think if they can bring back that original plan of doing the quick release, that would be great. I mean, that's my preference. And actually, now lately, I'm just used to that. I mean, a lot of the watches that I have that, or I've taken out the straps and put on quick release straps. But I think that was a good idea that they should have kept. Now, the push pin is also a little bit tricky, especially if you haven't done it yourself. And even if you've done it yourself, and you haven't done it often, it's a little bit tricky. Would have liked to seen screws here. However, look, I defer to them on this. I don't know if that's possible with this kind of configuration of the bracelet. Maybe push pin is better. But of course, I would like to see screw, but not a deal breaker at all. Perhaps, I know the whole theme of the watch is a brushed stainless steel, but perhaps maybe on some of these links here, maybe a little bit of polishing on the outer edges, because it does feel a little rough. But I guess that's how mesh bracelets, are typically supposed to feel. But that's very, very small. It's probably not worth to do that to all these links. It really is. That's not a deal breaker. None of my critiques are deal breakers by any means. The clasp, I would like to see a little more security in this version, in this clasp particularly. I can't speak of the other clasp that they offer, but here, there's usually like a little nub here where you can like get that snap. I would like to see that. I know a lot of watches don't have that. I mean, the fold over is usually typically fine, but I would like to see that here for sure. I'm fine with the amount of micro adjust. Actually, I know it's probably a little bit of an overkill, but I'm totally fine with that. Otherwise, I love the case. I love the way the bracelet meets with the case, so I got no issue with that. The dial is great. The indices are just up my wheelhouse. I mean, I like them. And I just love the look in general. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of this watch. I'm really excited about the future of Heinrich watch. I wish Wolfgang well. I know he just released a limited edition 20 watches. The dial configuration is a little bit different. They're actually numbers on the 2, 4, 6, and 8, I believe. I'll put a link to his webpage in the description below. But I'm looking forward to seeing what's next with Heinrich watch. Very, very impressed. Like I said, I've never participated in a Kickstarter before. This is my first time, and I'm very, very glad that I did. Oh, let me throw on a weight, since I always forget to add this to the video. As configured for my wrist, you're looking at 162 grams. It really not that. I mean, it doesn't even feel like that on wrist, really, because it sits so well. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next video. If my channel is new to you and you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and click that bell icon to get updates when I upload new videos. I love making these videos, and I hope you like them too. And also, if you want to support the channel, please buy me a cup of coffee. The link is in the description. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.